Hello, everyone. Welcome to the CaixaBank Day 1 stage and 4 years from now. Well, very quick intro. We are from CaixaBank Tech. Lucio and I's job is we're the technology arm of CaixaBank, and our day-to-day job is basically to transform data and AI into actionable products that move the needle in today's world. Now, a quick pulse check. I assume most of us are already experimenting or proving AI. Here's the thing. Most of organizations are already using AI, but the real difference is how they use it. And that's exactly what we're going to cover today together with Lucio. Putting it into numbers. According to McKinsey's latest global study, nearly 90% of the organizations are already using AI. But the real difference that this study found is that studying the companies or analyzing the companies capturing the highest rebound or the highest outcome from AI, they found that data, technology, and especially synergy from data and AI is one of the strong predictors of impact. It's not just about having the models, it's about having the foundations working together, and that's exactly what we're going to cover today. Here's the path that we follow. At the end of today, you will, first, have a simple way to turn data and AI into actionable products that move that creates better outcomes for your customers and colleagues. Second, know when machines should act and when humans should lead. And last but not least, live with a clear, repeatable path to take a use case from ideation to governed production. Here's the path that we'll cycle through. First, as always, there's the mission. Then, there's the data that will power that mission. Then, in case necessary, there's AI. And last but not least, if we want to make sure that we have the best possible outcome, there's human-machine teaming. Here you can see the same pipeline, but in a lower level. At the end, well, this will be the one that we'll make or we use to go through today's presentation. At the end, the objective we pursue is simple. It's move from data to insight as fast as possible. So let's walk through it. As always, we'll start with the mission, with a clear outcome that we want to contribute our colleagues or customers. From there, everything flows. We go then to data, the raw materials, structured and unstructured data, which goes then into data conditioning. We clean and modulate the data for it to be profitable. This information goes into machine learning, which feeds different types of algorithms to convert them into knowledge. But knowledge alone, most of the times, isn't enough. We need human-machine teaming to convert this knowledge into insight for our customers and our colleagues, knowing when the human has to have the power, knowing when it's the machine, or knowing when the best outcome comes from the contribution between both of them. In a lower level, we find today's technology, modern computing, and robust and responsible AI, which is everything we need to have a solution, have a solution which is safe and scalable. And lying underneath is Cosmos, which is part of the bank's broader ambitious transformation plan to power data and modern computing, enhance security, and improve governance, and ultimately enabling everything we will talk about today. Without that solid foundation, none of this would be possible at scale or with the level of trust our business requires. So with that picture in mind, let's just start with where everything starts. It's the mission and the capturing of the data. Lucio, all yours.
Okay, thank you, Jordi. Thank you to everybody. Now I want to put the focus on the first section of our pipeline. This is the first step of, we have records, content, structured and unstructured data, and a simple process of data conditioning that turns this data, this raw data, into information, ready to use for example, machine learning models. But when it comes to CaixaBank, all the solutions that we develop has to attain this level of scale. This data conditioning step looks so simple in our pipeline, but behind, we need to attend 1.3 petabytes of data. We have a massive amount of raw data waiting for us to extract information from it. We have more than 35,000 ETL processes running every day. We have more than 3,000 business users and 360 business areas. We have an end-to-end coverage across every business domain and function. At CaixaBank, we are more than 15 group companies. Today, we are, the solutions are for 6 of the bigger ones, but the rest of them are yet to come. Today, we have more than 1,500 data products. This is a growing catalog of operational data products delivering value every day. And of course, to attend this wide variety of use cases, we have developed different kinds of applications. We have data application for use cases such as risk scoring. We have machine learning AI application for use cases such as fraud detection. We have visualization application for executive dashboarding. So the data conditioning steps look so simple, but behind the scenes, we have to attain this level of scale. So to do it, this simple box of data conditioning behind the scenes looks pretty much like this. This is today our data platform. I'm not going deep dive into every single box of this one, but I want to highlight some interesting points. First, we start with use cases and we end up with use cases. It means that we start identifying and prioritizing the best opportunities to deliver value to business, and we end up industrializing those use cases. We have for example, our data movement track, where we develop solutions for orchestration and scheduling. We have our copy service that moves data from our on-prem database to the cloud. We have our ingestion service to govern the data that we put into our data lake. We have the data export service that governs the data that goes out our platform to avoid undesired exfiltration of information. So these little boxes are complete teams, are a complete group of people working every day to make this machine work. We have our data lake with raw layer where we put our data as it comes from the source. We have a universal layer where business users can apply their business logic. And we have, of course, our consumption layer where business publish the information they want to share with the rest of our company. And around all of this, we have data governance. At this level of scale, data governance becomes really important with tracks such as data lineage, metadata, our data governance framework. I mean, what I'm trying to say is this data conditioning step looks so simple in this pipeline, but behind the scene, we have a really complex data platform working every day to make this machine work. So how do we do it? How do we do to assure that the access to data is fast, is safe, and is reliable when it comes to this scale? Well, I want to present to you our data governance platform, which is this web application called Data Marketplace. The Data Marketplace is where we centralize and standardize the data governance operations. This is basically where our federated data governance model comes to life. Here, users can metadata their data products, choose what they want to share with the rest of the company. And at the time that we centralize the data governance operations, we are able to democratize and decentralize the access to data. So users can serve themselves the data they need. If a business area from our company needs to share for a data product, they go to our platform, search for it, request the access, and then this request goes to our data governance board when an officer will approve this request for consumption. And instantly, they get the access to the data they need. So yeah, we have 1.3 petabytes of information in our platform, but users can access to it really fast and in a governed and reliable way. So the Data Marketplace is the platform that we have developed in order to ensure a safe and accelerate data usage. So there's no doubt that some use cases can be solved by providing the user with the information they need. But there are some other use cases where this is not possible. Some use cases require to go one step further. So, Jordi, it's your call now.
Yeah, I'm going to pass to, like, as Lucio was saying, there are some use cases that we have to give them the information that we extract from what Lucio was saying of data conditioning in order for it to pass it and give to the customers or the employees the key knowledge they need for that specific task. This is where machine learning comes in. And depending on the kind of use case, we would use different kinds of machine learning. In this case, we'd like to focus only on the one that has had the greatest impact over the last years, which is generative AI. The arrival of Gen AI is transforming how we work and how we serve our customers. At the bank, we've seen growing demand of solutions demanding this technology. So we, as technology providers, we have had to scale and to change our way of working. We've passed from ad hoc initiatives from a specific business to building a customer or a cognitive platform. Remember this name, cognitive platform, which will let us scale and give the business the product they need safely and quickly. So what do we mean by cognitive platform? It's not a single agent or an isolated model. It's a system of shared capabilities, for example, agents, RAGs, data, governance, security, designed for reuse, measurement, and operating at scale. In practice, the platform provides a framework to build and operate specialized agents that orchestrate or execute specific tasks. Out of the box, we're providing to each team a content retrieval engine with memory, ML and LLM ops that lets us evaluate the models and improve them, and end-to-end governance to fulfill the responsible AI standards of the house. The outcome here is threefold: less time and less integration cost, a better user experience, and a higher reuse. In short, we are talking about a platform that lets us generate or accelerate the journey from ideation to production for the business cases, and thus we apport more value to the businesses. And just the last point, which for me is the most important one, we are making all of this so the technology works with us, not instead of us. This is where human-machine teaming is so important, because it's actually the direction the industry is moving to. It's not substitution, but collaboration. In this model, people and intelligent systems work together, so each can put into work its best practices. So on the one hand, machines excel at processing large volume of information, pattern detection, and generating rapid responses, while on the other hand, humans bring what no model can generate: judgment, ethics, context, which is the understanding of the general situation, and ultimately, accountability. This is exactly what we can see in this chart. On the y-axis is the confidence in the response that the machine will give us, and while on the x-axis is the consequence of the actions. If the consequences are low and the confidence is high, those tasks are typically best matched to machines. These typically are tasks which are really repeatable and apport a low added value. If the confidence decreases or the consequence increases, the balance shifts. And we move into an area where are mostly the day-to-day projects that we are moving on right now. When humans take a more central role, and the thing that they do is basically humans and machines work together, augmenting one another. This is the concept of human augmentation. And this is exactly what we are doing right now at the house, because we found that working together and improving one another is coming into better informed decisions for our customers and our colleagues. The operations are more efficient, and the service we deliver is much better. Over to you, Lucio.
Okay. Thank you, Jordi. So, to wrap up this session, we wanted just to share with you some essential ideas that we wanted to transmit. with our presentation. These are some learnings we get while developing our platforms in our respective teams. First of all, choose wisely to maximize impact. It's really important to be intelligent about which use cases we develop, which use cases will have the most impact to business, and we deliver more value. It is really important to have one aligned strategic decision. In our case, in CaixaBank, we have Cosmos, that is the strategic plan where the resources come from, but also where the line that the company will follow comes from, so it is really important. It is important to have a modern infrastructure. What we are building is on cloud. We have a multi-cloud strategy. And it is important to have scalable foundations. What this means? It is like both teams started with use cases, trying to solve use cases for business. And some years from that, we have developed platforms. We have our data platform, we have our cognitive platform. These platforms are capabilities that we provide to business users in order to allow them to self-service, to develop the solution they need. So it's really important to have these scalable foundations prepared for what's coming. This day, we don't have what's coming in the next years. Another important point is that data and AI needs to act as one system. As we show on the pipeline, the raw data is the input for the AI, the modern AI model, so it's important to work together, and the transmission of the information between these steps needs to be fast and safe. And of course, humans stay at the center. Of course, machines deliver speed and scale, but humans provide context and judgment. So finding the use cases where people and AI collaborate to reach better decisions are the use cases that provide the most value to business. So, well, this is all. Thank you for listening. We have a little section for Q&A if you want.
Those are our emails, and you can contact us or find us here. Thank you very much.